Hey there, Sheryl Kline here, mental toughness and certified high performance coach, best-selling author, speaker, and now facilitator and trainer to over a dozen Fortune 500 companies here in San Francisco, Silicon Valley, and across the country. And so before we hop into the content today, I want to ask you a question, if I may. Have you ever bombed a crucial conversation or presentation? Now, if the answer is yes, you are absolutely not alone. It has happened to most all of us, me included. But I am here today to make sure that it does not happen again, because your voice matters a lot. And I want to make sure that you have the impact and you get the recognition that you want and deserve. So keep in mind that this entire process is in my Limitless Leader course and system, but I want to give you today where to get started. All right. So total transparency though, you have to be really aware that if you don't believe in yourself, you don't believe in the desired outcome that you want or in your ability, it's going to be extremely difficult for others to have buy-in, for others to really listen and take what you have to say seriously and to give you the recognition that you want and deserve. So today we're going to start with ourselves and working on ourselves. And good for you for raising your hand to wanting to learn more about this and to take a little bit ownership of your impact. Now, keep in mind that, and maybe you've heard of the 7-38-55 rule, and that states that 7% of what we communicate has to do with our words, but then 38% has to do with our tone, and a whopping 55% has to do with our gestures. Now, this study that proved this out of UCLA was done, back in the 60s. And so the numbers may be a little off, that we're not totally certain if those numbers are still totally accurate. But there's one thing that we are extremely certain about, the research is extremely certain about, and that is that your tone and gestures matter, and they matter a lot. You might be thinking, okay, well, why? And let me tell you why. What you're thinking in your mind is going to come out your mouth. So if you're going into a conversation, a presentation, or any type of crucial interaction, and you're doubtful in yourself or you're doubtful in your ability, it will come out in your tone or gestures. If you're lacking confidence, it will come out in your tone or gestures. What you were thinking, what's going on in here, will come out your mouth. Trust me. And so also, if you're angry or annoyed going into a conversation, or you become angry or annoyed, that will come out in your tone and gestures as well. And you might be thinking, well, okay, what's the big deal? Now, here's the big deal. Now, listen to me on this, because it's so important. We as human beings tend to mirror each other. So if we see someone and we perceive that they are doubtful in themselves or their ability or their idea, then we are likely to doubt them. If we see someone who is lacking confidence, then it's going to be very difficult for us to have confidence in them. And the other thing, in addition to mirroring, is that human beings, we want to feel safe, right? We want to feel safe. And let me share with you what this means. If we're in a conversation, in a crucial conversation, and someone else is angry or annoyed, we're not going to feel safe, because it's going to separate them from us. Okay? And this is something that is really important to understand. It's very important in crucial conversations to create what's called kinship, to create a feeling of camaraderie. And if we are angry or annoyed, it pushes people away. They don't feel understood. It becomes us against them. And that is not going to be helpful if you are trying to have a greater impact or really make some progress and having allyship and having people support you and your ideas. So the two things, mirroring and feeling safe, are very, very important. So we want to make sure that we address the doubt issue, the confidence issue, and also being very agile with our emotions so we don't get annoyed or angry. Now, you might be wondering, well, what's the good news then? Well, the good news is that there's something that you can do starting today, starting right now, that is really the first step so you can start to think through and prepare your mindset for the next crucial conversation or interaction, even for presentation. And that has to do with thinking about an interrogative question. Now, let me explain what that is. You've probably heard of positive affirmations. Those are things that are like, I am capable of delivering a powerful pitch. Now, those are great. They're positive. They're certainly way better than a negative dialogue, but they're not that strong. They're a little bit weak. They're a declarative statement that in our mind we may or may not believe. But an interrogative question is something that Daniel Pink brings up in his book, To Sell is Human, and it's so powerful. What it is, if you take that same affirmation, the affirmation, for example, that says, I am capable of delivering a powerful pitch. If you take that and make it now into an interrogative question, it would be, am I capable of delivering a powerful pitch? So now you're asking yourself a question, and what that does is, and I know that you're already successful, so it's going to flip your brain into a past success. And then you're going to think, well, of course I'm capable. I just did it last week, or I did it last month, or I did it an hour ago. So that's really, really important. So the more you can ask yourself these interrogative questions that are relevant to your conversation, the more confidence and belief you're going to build in yourself. So in summary, please remember these 3 things. One is get very clear on your desired outcome. So you're positive and forward thinking. You can ask yourself the question, how do I want this to turn out? And really think through the details as much as you can. Then think of some interrogative questions, or at least one relevant interrogative question, so you can build confidence in yourself. And then finally, once you can do this and you increase your belief system in yourself, and that you leave doubt and kick doubt to the curb, you're more confident, you're more optimistic, you have your mindset straight, then others are going to be able to follow suit and be more likely to be confident in you as well.